Floyd Mayweather Jr. started his jail sentence on June 1st. Life behind bars is a far cry from the glamorous one he is used to.
And I'm not trying to boast what I have accomplished in life, but I'm just saying this to repeat. They might forget that the best fighter in the world.
Manny Pacquiao recently took a subtle dig at Floyd Mayweather after rumors surfaced suggesting Floyd could be facing legal trouble, including possible arrest tied to alleged fraudulent real estate dealings and unpaid obligations. Pacquiao hinted that consequences may finally be catching up to the man who branded himself as Money, implying that serious issues could now be unfolding behind the scenes.
Associated with the Mayweather name over the past several weeks, and Floyd Mayweather has had no control over any.
Pacquiao didn't hold back when reacting to the reports. He criticized Mayweather for prioritizing quick cash through exhibition bouts rather than focusing on building a meaningful boxing legacy. He suggested that Floyd's long-standing confidence, often seen as arrogance, might now be working against him. According to Manny, true greatness comes with humility, not constant self-promotion. He reminded fans that real champions don't need to prove themselves through flashy wealth or loud claims. Their achievements speak loud enough on their own.
His name's Conor McGregor, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen him? And if you have, what do you think of that? Just him as a fighter, and then that whole Mayweather wanting to fight him.
I don't want to make that story.
You can be modest.
I don't want to make the story big and the issues big. So I just want to. I want to.
The rivalry between Pacquiao and Mayweather has stretched over many years. Even though their long-awaited fight is in the past, the tension between them hasn't faded. Floyd has consistently portrayed himself as being on a completely different level, often dismissing comparisons with Manny. In interviews, he tends to elevate his own legacy while downplaying Pacquiao's accomplishments, presenting himself as untouchable in boxing history.
Spoke about that he shouldn't have.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather, yeah.
Because it's a time and a place for everything. I'm not gonna say he's right and I'm not gonna say he's wrong. You know, but it's so crazy. When he spoke about it, I could have easily came out and said, yeah, you spoke about it. I ain't have to say nothing. Just by you saying my name, they gave me a check for $4 million. He said my name when he didn't supposed to. Remember I said, it's a time and a place for any and everything. Manny Pacquiao he's not a better fighter than me.
Floyd, what is your assessment of Manny Pacquiao and his shoulder injury?
Come on. I mean, this is ridiculous. Excuses, excuses, excuses. He was throwing combinations. Everything seemed just fine. He lost. He know he lost. I lost a lot of respect for him. You know, you fight. If you lose, it's okay. Mayweather was the better man. We fight 10 times, I'm gonna win 10 times. We fight 20 times, I'm gonna win 20 times. We fight 100 times, I'm gonna win 100 times. Manny Pacquiao, you're not on my level. Manny Pacquiao, you will never be on my level. Period. Simple and plain. It's okay to be number 2. It's okay to be right behind me. It's okay. I won. I know I won. I know I'm the...
Fans and analysts have always compared these to legends, debating their contrasting styles, personalities, and achievements. Those discussions continue even today. While Mayweather became known for showcasing wealth and speaking boldly, Pacquiao earned admiration for his humility and calm demeanor. Many in the boxing community respect Manny not just for his skills in the ring, but also for his character outside of it.
Romello Scuzz from Undisputed Spit. I got a question for y'all. What's more impressive? Floyd Mayweather's 50-0 or Manny Pacquiao's world titles in 8 different weight classes? Comment down below.
I won. I know I won. I know I'm the better fighter. We fight 10 times, I'm gonna win 10 times. We fight 20 times, I'm gonna win 20 times. We fight 100 times, I'm gonna win 100 times. Manny Pacquiao he's not a better fighter than me.
Their rivalry even crossed into the legal arena. Pacquiao filed a defamation lawsuit against Mayweather after being accused of using performance-enhancing drugs, although the case was eventually settled without financial penalties. It added another layer of tension to their already heated history.
Hoping to accomplish with this lawsuit.
Well, I know that the negotiations for this fight have been ongoing, but I just got off the telephone with Daniel Petrocelli, who was the attorney for Manny Pacquiao, literally moments before coming on the air, and I asked him that exact question. And his point was, regardless of whether or not they're negotiating this fight, that that the comments that they alleged that the Mayweather people had made were irresponsible and reckless and malicious, and they had to answer it no matter what. And so they felt like they had no choice but to file the lawsuit regardless of whether or not the fight.
After stepping away from boxing, Pacquiao shifted his focus to public service. While his presidential bid in the Philippines didn't succeed, he remains active in politics and humanitarian work, strengthening his image as someone dedicated to helping others.
Pacquiao is now planning to run for president in his native Philippines this upcoming May. But Shannon, how will you remember Manny as a boxer?
Historically great fighter.
Good for you.
The only fighter to win 8 world titles. I mean, Skip, he started out boxing, he was 106 pounds, won a title at, I think, 112, and went all the way up to
108 first.
Went all the way up to 154.
It's impossible. It's just...
I don't believe, I feel very comfortable and said, I don't believe we'll ever see that again, Skip.
We'll never see it again.
And it wasn't like he was fighting bums. When you go back and look at Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales and Oscar Larios and De La Hoya and Hatton and Cotto, Margarita, Mosley, Timothy Bradley, Mayweather, Skip. I mean, what do you got to say? He was a champion in 4 different decades.
Yep.
Fighter of the year. First ballot Hall of Fame. He's great.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. has also weighed in, suggesting that Mayweather's win over Pacquiao shouldn't be overly glorified. He pointed out that Manny was no longer in his prime when the fight finally happened, implying that Floyd chose the timing carefully to gain an advantage rather than facing Pacquiao at his most dangerous. U.S. peak.
I'd be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez because that's not the same Pacquiao. Of course. That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game. Yeah, of course. But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever. Of course. When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is because...
Rapper 50 Cent, once close to Mayweather, has publicly questioned Floyd's financial image. He claimed that the lifestyle Floyd presents may be exaggerated, built more on appearances and hype than on stable, long-term wealth.
Does Floyd Mayweather, is he as rich as we think he is?
No.
So when we see the $1 million in the bag,
that money, light money, like he can get his hands on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't,
I need some of that light money then. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Anytime like that, look, he is who he is. You can't discredit who he is. Like, and again, I'll tell you, like, I don't mind, telling the truth.
There has long been speculation that Mayweather delayed fighting Pacquiao intentionally. Many believe he waited until Manny had slowed down before agreeing to step into the ring, avoiding him during his most dominant years.
Does Manny look like a steroid creation? Does he look like some mini Schwarzenegger? Well, I can give you any other thing that steroid can do, but not natural hand quickness. So if you're right about how Floyd Mayweather is the greatest defensive tactician in the history of boxing, what should he care about how ripped or big the head is of Manny Pacquiao? 27. Pretty boy Floyd is worried that for the first time in his career, he is going to get hit and hit and hit. He's going to get cut. He's going to get hurt. He is scared to
man. Pacquiao!
Older footage shows Pacquiao repeatedly pushing for the fight to happen earlier, clearly eager to prove himself. Meanwhile, Floyd appeared to stall negotiations, often changing conditions or offering unclear reasons for the delay.
The fans want.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's up to him.
Yeah.
Now, all I can say is,
Come on, man. What do you got?
Hold on. My line is open 24 hours and 7 days a week. Anytime he can call me and say yes.
Not on that
I will
phone.
fight, and then the fight will be on.
Why hasn't he called you yet? Do you think he doesn't want to fight you? Why hasn't he called you yet?
I don't know.
I know you just put the phone there, but I mean, is it a collect call?
It's colleague call. So he don't need to pay something or anything. It's a colleague call, and he can call me anytime. If he say yes, and then the fight will be on.
Despite earning massive sums throughout his career, Mayweather's finances have faced public scrutiny. Issues such as IRS tax liens and questionable spending habits have raised doubts about how stable his financial situation truly is.
Just signed a deal to lease an apartment in Midtown Manhattan. He's going to be paying $100,000 per month for this place. Here's the apartment, you guys. It's got 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 4,000 square feet, and the place is pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. The description says that this is a double unit and it is a corner unit, so you got a ton of natural light in here. Do you think this place is worth $100,000 per month? Why would Floyd spend $100,000 a month on this apartment? If I had to guess, it would be a combination of owning something is just kind of a liability. Plus, I'm pretty sure whenever you rent a place versus buy a place for business purposes, you're able to write off more of that lease payment, so if I had to guess, that $100,000 per month is going to be a pretty big write-off for him based on how he...
Recently, Floyd claimed he purchased a building worth over $1 million. However, critics quickly questioned the claim, pointing out the lack of verifiable records and asking where the funding came from.
The beef between 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather is heating up again. 50 Cent posted a video calling out Floyd's claim of spending $400 million on NYC apartments, saying there's no proof of the purchase. The long-running feud continues, with 50 Cent suggesting Floyd's real estate empire may be a fancy fantasy. Floyd has remained silent, but the drama shows no signs of ending.
Floyd Mayweather is trying to buy a piece of the New York Giant. Floyd, I know you're the GOAT in boxing. I don't need you to come to the NFL, especially to the NFC East, and mess with the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys got going on. We got 2 easy wins against the Giants every year. I don't need you messing that up like Magic Johnson did when he went to the Washington Commanders and took them to the NFC Championship.
50 Cent once again challenged Floyd's statement, saying there's no solid proof the property is actually in his name. He dismissed the claim as another attempt to grab attention without evidence.
Mayweather make a good real estate deal. Let's break it down really quick so you can understand, yes, the fuck he did. Let's start off with the purchase price. He bought 1,000 units for $402 million. What's the math? 402 million. Let's say 400 million divided by 1,000 units. That's what, people? $400,000, okay? Follow me. Now, rent in New York is about $3,000 to $4,000 for a 2 or 3 bedroom. Crazy, I know. That's how they living though. Now keep up. 400,000. What's 1% of 400,000? All right, that's $4,000. In real estate, there's something called the 1% rule, which means if something is 1% of the purchase price in rent, that means it is a cash flowing possibility opportunity. So he has a cash flowing property straight out the gate. We're not going to mention the hundreds of millions of dollars in tax exemptions he will get for this property. It's a win.
Other sources have echoed these concerns, noting that there's still no confirmed documentation supporting Mayweather's real estate claims. His reluctance to provide proof has only increased skepticism and damaged his credibility further.
None of the buildings that Floyd Mayweather claimed that he bought, his name is not listed as the owner of those buildings. Now, maybe it's an oversight. I hope that Floyd Mayweather bought these.
Some insiders, including 50 Cent, have also suggested that Floyd may feel threatened by his protege Gervonta Davis. They claim he hasn't fully supported the rising star and has instead kept the spotlight focused on himself.
Right, and I want to talk 50 and Mayweather. 50 said that Tank better get away from old boy because Mayweather got a jealous heart and Mayweather only wants himself to win. I found that, I think that was 50's IG, I think. You know what I'm saying? I think that was one of his posts. IG, Twitter, I don't know.
Mayweather built much of his brand around being the villain. He understood that even if fans disliked him, they would still pay to watch, hoping to see him lose. While this approach brought financial success, It also filled his legacy with controversy rather than universal respect.
Boy Floyd, you see, in boxing, usually people have like an alter ego, the character they play. He had to change his character from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money because Pretty Boy Floyd had a problem. You need to listen. Now, the problem was he was tiny, but more than that, his hands were tiny. Now, I don't know much about JB, but I know he ain't big. And then boy got the same frame. That's twinning him. Now, let me be more specific. It wasn't his hands so much that were tiny, it's that they were brittle. It's believed to be genetic because his dad broke his hand and his uncle broke his hand. Yeah, they were all boxers and them boys could throw hands. That does not mean he had it easy. You see, his dad sold a bunch of stuff and his mom did a bunch of stuff. So to escape his traumatic childhood, all he would do is train day in and day out. He said, I had to take care of my mom. But he trained so much because it's all he knew that his hands started to hurt. Now, during a match, he breaks his hand. It turns out that both of his hands were severely injured. They told him, Floyd, you not boxing anymore. He said, nah, I'm finna box. They said, no, you're not hearing me. The problem is you already beat everybody your size. Listen, Floyd had a bigger issue. He needed to start boxing people that were way bigger than him because everybody his size couldn't hang with him. So if his hands were breaking against smaller guys, against bigger guys, he better have no arms. So Mayweather's team said, we need to switch things up. This dude, Mayweather's promoter, said, switch things. What? Not everything saying the same, stupid. He said, unless y'all got $750K, the exit your contract is done. Mayweather said, here. He said, what? I don't pay you that much. Mayweather said, I've been saving up for this day. He said, oh, okay, big dog, you got it. So they devised a plan. Go from Pretty Boy to Money. See, Pretty Boy loved to throw hands, but Money was a defensive specialist. In fact, he's easily considered as the greatest defensive boxer of all time. But that wasn't the only reason he changed his name. Look at that man's face. See, Mayweather was known to talk smack and aggravate people, but this made things even worse because now he's blocking and running away. So people was like, you doing all this talking, but you running. But as he's moving away, he's throwing in some hits here and there. And before you know it, when the fight's over, he lands so many more hits that he always wins. So people would always say, Mayweather, you boring. You not throwing hands for real. But his reply was always, nah, do something about it. So people lost it. They started paying to see him lose. But this strategy was none other than Muhammad Ali's strategy. In his words, he would talk so much trash that people would pay to see him lose. And they would get disappointed every time. So they would come back next time and spend some more money. But the only person winning is Muhammad Ali. So this turns Mayweather into one of the richest athletes of all time. Why? Because of his brittle hands. So don't let anyone...
His obsession with money has become a defining part of his image. From carrying stacks of cash to flaunting luxury cars and jewelry, Floyd has consistently showcased his wealth. But what once seemed entertaining now appears excessive to many. In one instance, he was even seen counting money ringside instead of watching the fight. What used to look iconic now comes across as forced, especially as reports of financial struggles continue to emerge, ranging from tax debts to reliance on exhibition fights for quick income. Official records of IRS filings have only added weight to these concerns.
Stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality, you know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. You know, they start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, you know, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching this sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And and I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains, Floyd Money Mayweather and all of his accomplishments and all of the great things he's done inside the ring, however, seems to be playing the same tune or acting in the same movie of a lot of boxers.
Despite these issues, Floyd hasn't reduced his spending. He continues to invest in luxury items without showing signs of financial restraint. Many observers, including fans and fellow celebrities, have started to question this lifestyle. What once seemed larger than life now feels disconnected from reality, particularly during difficult global economic times. While Mayweather once inspired millions with his rise from poverty, his name is now increasingly linked to controversy and ongoing investigations involving large-scale financial allegations.
Mayweather Jr. I mean, we all know him, the tremendous, talented boxer, but people don't realize how smart he is in business, especially real estate. He just did a blockbuster deal, forget about it. Upper Manhattan, 1,000 units consisting of 60 buildings, affordable housing, $402 million purchase price. The seller, Black Spruce Management. This is going to be a monster, huge deal. Already a very big portion of it already closed. The remaining portion should be closing the beginning of 2025. This is a guy who believes in long-term wealth, generational wealth. He's heavily involved in skyscrapers. Now he's getting very, very big in affordable housing in Upper Manhattan. Tremendous deal, $402 million. Once again, 1,000 units, 60 buildings. Forget about it, Maron. That's what I'm talking about. That's smart. That's generational wealth, in my opinion. Not financial advice, not a financial planner, but very, very impressed. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Not too shabby. V for victory.
That wraps up the story for today. Stay tuned for more updates.